Here we go. Already first question, do I own any NFTs? Not yet, but I was planning for, I think the beginning of next year to have a decent amount of my money in NFTs. Having fun while on this call, bro, I had fun also today. I made everything myself. Okay, just wanted to share with you. It's like it's very late night right here. I just finished also a Zoom session with my mentees. Talked about strategies and scalping because next week we start scalping, and I'm super tired. Really, literally, I'm still in my gym clothes. I just returned back from the gym, so. Okay, weed stocks, guys. Weed got legalized, right? It's about to get legalized even here in Germany. So check. What was Tilray, right? Tilray is a weed stock. What was the other one? I don't have it in mind right now. Okay. Amazon Germany, surprise finish Friday down. I'm actually not surprised on Amazon because there was a huge resistance. We will take a look at that. We also take a look at Boeing, guys. Boeing. Man, that made me headache on Friday though. Okay, let me show you guys my screen. I think people are still coming in. Give me 1 second before I share the screen. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm super tired. People still joining. The thing is, on Boeing, what I would say is something you might don't want to hear, to be honest. Let's see. People still joining. Let's see. One second. Let's give the people 1 more minute and then I will close and lock the Zoom. Okay, let's see. Okay, we will talk about Boeing. Definitely, we will talk about Boeing. Some lessons learned, right? Still a very good trade. That's the thing. Okay. 1 more minute. And then I will close the Zoom and then we will start. People still joining. Okay, the thing with, okay. Okay, I will lock this meeting here right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about Boeing. Let me share my screen. Boeing. Here we go. Let's talk about Boeing. right? So our hypothesis, right? And trading again, guys, everything what we do is based on hypothesis, right? Trading is a game of probabilities. That means you can say with your hypothesis, with your strategy, and so on. So the whole homework you do once you start off with trading. You have your own hypothesis with a high probability that something works out. That's how trading works, right? So we have our entry point, we have our stop loss, we have our price target. These are the three components you always need before you get into any trade at all. So on Boeing, what we had based on the technical analysis, right? We are in a uptrending channel. We approach the support, right? This is exactly the area after confirmation where we got in, right? I called it out at 207, right? And said that the safe entry is at 210, right? So I think the majority jumped in here. So when we take a look at Boeing, everything was great, exactly how we planned it, right? We had a push to the upside, a pullback, gap up with another push, right? Look at the volume. A lot of institutions bought in with a pullback, right? Where people freaked out, and I was calming you guys down because this is part of swings, right? That you see pullbacks. So we try to identify pullbacks and see also that it is actually a pullback with a continuation to the upside. So far, so good, right? We had another gap up, a lot of volume, a lot of interest. Institutions still keep buying in, right? And then we saw another pullback, right, to this area of supply previously, now turning into demand. And now here's the time where we approached Friday, that nightmare Friday, right? So let's take a look on the day or the 1 hour, right? So here we saw that push up, right? People bought in, institutions bought in. So far, so good. Exactly how we planned it out, how it normally should be. Then we saw a pullback, right, to our trend line. So it still confirms our valid uptrend. Now the question is, what has happened on Friday? So there were several news out there, and I saw that the Boeing 787 Dreamliner has still issues with its doors. So some were telling me that this is actually the issue for Boeing, right? That the revenue numbers keep not increasing due to the delay of the 787, and also that investors suppose or think that the next quarter might be not doing well for Boeing, even though they had a lot of orders on the 737 MAX, right? The 737 MAX is actually their bread and butter of aircraft. And the 787 is actually a long haul, right? That means they're flying long distances, like the 777X that they're about to launch at the late 2023. So if it would be the 787, that might be the issue. Institutions or big investors wouldn't sell off because we expect around 2023 to have really long distances flights again that would pick up, right? Business guys, the majority don't fly. Even me, right? I'm not flying anywhere far away. I'm literally every 4 months flying somewhere very far away to do all my business stuff. And I'm not doing it all, right? So the question is, what has happened actually? And the answer to that is COVID-19, guys. Austria has its lockdown. Germany, right now where I live, has declared almost emergency. The chancellor also says we are having a COVID-19 emergency right now. It is at its highest point, and we expect actually having lockdowns. So investors fear, right? Especially the air and aircraft industry, travel industry. When the travel industry is getting affected, that means all the companies who are flying, right? they might reduce down their orders because they also have to make their calculations, right? When the demand decreases, how do they sell, right? How can they pay their bills, right? How can they do that? So one effect, what they might do is canceling all the orders. They have to pay the lease on the aircrafts too. And that's why Boeing is getting affected here in this case. Right? This is much more reasonable than just the 787 Dreamliner with its doors. Makes no sense to me. All right, so this is what I wanted to tell you guys. So now from a trading point of view, so what could we do here on Boeing, right? Because we said we are trading, we have a hypothesis, we want to manage our trades also, and we should always have a stop loss. So the question is, where should the stop loss be? Anytime. And the answer to that is the stop loss is always at a point where it invalidates your hypothesis. So with that in mind, let's check this setup here. We entered somewhere here, right? That means original hypothesis. Here is the reversal to the upside. So we expected a move to around 300, 280 to 300. I'm really still persuading that we will make that move, but not with COVID, right? So once we entered here, where's your stop loss? When is the time our hypothesis gets invalidated, right? Because we expected a reversal to the upside from this point on, right? So when we are forming a new lower low, right? That means when we are forming a new lower low, the previous downtrend is still intact. This is where our stop loss should be. So from there on, what do? We try, if you guys try to reload, right? We don't reload here at this point. We know any uptrend is a sequence of higher highs and higher lows, right? Is that better now? 1 second, I need to read the chat here. Next slide. Okay. So it's a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. So once you see this pullback happening, right, this pullback happening, this is the time where you would be interested in getting into Boeing, right? And where's your stop loss? Your stop loss is at a point where it invalidates your hypothesis again. So where is it? Right? It is below this point here, exactly here, right? When you are dropping out of your pullback, right? You know exactly here, this is a pullback over time, sideways moving basically. So when you're dropping somewhere below here, out of your growth rate, right? This is where your stop loss should be. Hypothesis invalidated. Here again, higher highs, higher lows, formed an area of demand here, right? So support, 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 right? Forming a new higher low, but I wouldn't count that. Where's your stop loss? Exactly below here, right? That means you get in, right? Here's your risk. Your reward is depending on your swing, 280, for example. That's how you calculate. Again, right? Next push to the upside, still a pullback. We realized it is a pullback, everything still fine. Where's your stop loss? Exactly below the area of demand, right? Where we had here support, support, support. But what happened on Friday is we had a breakdown out of our uptrend, making that uptrend almost invalid, right? Breaking below our area of demand and retested that as an area of supply. Right? Now people are selling off out of this area. And this is where your stop loss should be, exactly here. This is, as a good trader, what you should do. Does this make sense to everyone? Now, the principle of having a stop loss, it is super important because it is basically your co-pilot. I want everyone in the chat now, yes or no, did you understand that? Super important for me. Always have your stop loss. No one is trading without a stop loss, right? Because exactly stuff like this on Boeing can happen every single day, right? People fearing COVID-19, I don't know, any reason. Cool. Nice. All right. The thing is, everyone does their stop loss different, right? Depending on the case, 20%, 30%. So the question is, at what percentage do you set your stop loss? And no, I don't have any fixed percentage. My stop loss is always at a point where it invalidates my overall setup. That's the rule. That's the rule, guys. So if you enter somewhere here at the top, right? Let's say here at the open, your stop loss is still here. So this distance here, this is your percentage. If you enter somewhere here, maybe, or here at market close, that's your distance. So the percentage here is much lower than when you entered here at the top, right? So that's the skill of a trader. You have to find the perfect spot to enter. You have to find the stop loss, and you have to have your price targets. And we always talk about risk to reward. Make sense? Unlock the Zoom meeting. Okay, let's let me unlock the Zoom meeting. Okay, I unlocked the Zoom meeting. Okay. I set, yeah, there was a question, do I have a stop loss in mind or do I set it manually? I always have it in mind, plus I set it on my charts, yes. Okay. Yes, always get stopped out on candle close, okay? Because you can actually get short-term faked out, right? And then it formed a wick, which is a reaction or like a rejection of that price level then. So always wait for the candle to close. Going forward, what do I see for Boeing? Okay, I know there are some people who are still holding on Boeing, even though there's no reason to hold it right now, right? I was still reloading because I see the long term in Boeing. But the thing is, from a trading perspective, there's no way you should right now getting into Boeing, right? This is definitely a kind of reversal showing me, okay, we are selling off now and it can continue to sell off because COVID-19 is still there. And on Friday, it just started, right, to sell off. I think also there's just a few groups of people who sell off. And by that sell off, they triggered a lot of stop losses. And that's why we saw that big drop coming down. So on Monday, that's actually at the end of Monday, we will do another Zoom session on Boeing because that's where we see what has happened on the market. Right? But right now it's too early, right? There are so many hypotheses we can say. Maybe it was something short term because of only the 787 Dreamliner. Maybe it's because the overall COVID-19, what I believe makes more sense, right? And also some of my friends saying that, and they know exactly what they say. Maybe it is just the worst performance of Boeing on the Dubai Air Show, right? Maybe it's because of that. But I heard also from my friends that the Dubai Air Show was very crowded. They had a lot of people coming there. So highs up to date. So let's see. Boeing gets definitely invalidated once it crosses below around this level, 207, right? 207, that's where we got in. When it reaches again 207 and closes there, that's where you get invalidated, definitely. Boeing puts, no. Oh, there's an interesting question. What time frame or timeline of chart do I use for swing trades, such as hourly, daily, or the ticks? So for swing trades, you want to know exactly to where do you want to swing, right? That means if you see a setup, for example, Boeing, right? I saw Boeing on the weekly, by the way. So we were on the weekly. 1 second. Here we go. That's not necessarily correct. Here we go. Okay, I saw that setup on the weekly, by the way. 1 second, let me draw it out. Here we go. Okay, I saw that setup on the weekly. That means for me now, I want to count how many weeks do I need to reach the price target I had, right? And my price target was around 300, 280, right? That's why also I made, from my strategy point of view, a 240 call and could possibly go in another reload at 260 and another reload at 280. That was my intentions before. But based on that time frame, that's how you choose your option contract. So you can swing basically the 4 hour, you can swing the daily, and you can even swing the weekly. That defines how far you go out with your option contracts. Does this make sense? Okay, cool. Nice, nice. Good. Fast learners here. When picking strike prices, how do you choose which date for swings? And that's exactly right. Let me share it with you. So previously, what did Boeing do? Right? It bounced also off that same line. How long did it take to reach its profit target? 35 days. You see that? 35 days. So how long should your expiration at least last, right? At least 35 days. It's simple as that, right? Min, can I get a format of your trading journal? Trading journaling for beginners is super important. The reason for that is when you start off, there are two major things that you're uncertain about. Your strategy, right? Does it work or does it not work? And the quality you apply it, right? That means, did you apply it fairly well? Did you apply it wrong because of emotions, right? Maybe you invested into the market, right? You made a perfect setup, you invested correctly in, you bought your option contract, and then moves against you. And then you're feeling like you're doubting, right? You start doubting, wait, what has happened here? But then you would say, okay, it was part of the game, next time. Then you entered again, right? And then went again against you, which could happen, right? It totally happens. So now you start doubting, and then you want to fight back because you're really feeling, hey, I'm somehow wrong. And I know a lot of people who have struggles with that, of being wrong, right? And then they're starting becoming reckless. And that's where you need to measure the quality of your trades. That means, was it exactly how it was planned out? Did I have my stop loss? Did I have my price targets? Did I execute well? Right? What could I have done better? And that's where trading journaling is coming in. Okay, so talk about your strategies, journal it, right? And talk about the quality of your trade execution. That's what I would really recommend everyone to journal out. All right. Does this make sense? Donna's iPhone, who was asking the question. Any books coming out of guides for beginners? There's only one book that I prefer. You can find it in TCX. It is the Candlestick Bible. Okay. Thank you so much for answering the question. Very much appreciate it. Okay, cool. What is my P&L on Boeing? December calls. I'm still green on Boeing. So with that in mind. Yeah, my stop loss did hit on Boeing, right? I was outside there, but I knew my stop loss would hit. It was partially hit. I was up 360%, I think, and it hit it around, I think, a little bit below 200%. When it hits my profit target, do I leave some contracts for runners, given there's more time left? Actually, I start trimming already earlier. That means, so the strategy that I have, that I actually only share with my mentees, is we buy an option contract where we exactly know it will be in the money. And once we're in the money, that's where the fun part starts, right? And that's also where I start also be interested in trimming risk management, right? Trimming, and always leaving runners. Okay. How do you know when it's a pullback when you are in a trade? That's a good secret. Can you go over Tesla? Yes, Tesla. Let's talk about Tesla. Tesla, super bullish. You guys saw that. So what has happened to Tesla? Even though long-term wise, I think Tesla will be bearish. The reason for that is Elon Musk sold his shares, and this is one big indication for me. With short-term wise, here a reversal that I talked about with my mentees also. It is a valid reversal because of some key factors that we don't talk about now. But what you can see is we're starting forming higher highs and higher lows, right? And on Friday, we had a perfect setup that we could actually scalp. So I was talking with my mentees just 30 minutes ago, maybe 1 hour ago, about this crucial setup, right? We had the reversal, doing higher highs, higher lows, pulled back here and break out to the upside. That is easy money, right? So Tesla, super beautiful. If you want to day trade it, right? Again, here on the lower time frame, you see a squeeze here, right? And a breakout to the upside. There are several different strategies you can follow, right? To trade that setup here. But I think everyone has their own setups, own strategies, right? I have my own one. And you could actually day trade it, scalp it, and even swing it, right? So, okay. for beginners, is there any chart strategy you can share for beginners? Guys, my biggest advice is if you're a beginner, learn to read the charts because they are telling you the story. Never, ever try to solely predict. Try to read the chart and understand what he's telling you. Right? Okay. mRNA, also super interesting. mRNA, right, is currently in an uptrend, but I can see people selling off here. And what can happen is this is another bear flag. Can possibly happen, right? Like this year. Downtrend, bear flag, down, another bear flag, completely down. Can happen. And the probability for that is not that high. Oh, yeah. Okay. Some questions about my mentorship. Okay, for my mentorship, just DM me, right? It is, so my mentorship is a little bit different than other people's mentorship because my interest is that people print afterwards, right? Else it makes no sense for me to start a mentorship. I usually accept only 4 people because it fits into my time schedule where I really focus one-on-one on each individual person. We do the lectures, we do also train and trade a lot, right? And I also changed my opinion to 30-day mentorship into a lifetime one, which means after those 30 days of lectures, hard, intense days, right? We do really a lot, really, really a lot. I still continue and let you having access to me. That means we have a special group only for mentees, right? Where we do our priority Zoom sessions, our analysis, giving feedback loops, mentees helping each other, and so on. That's where you have access to also lifetime, right? Completely free, it's included. And I think this is the maximum what I can do to really guarantee that you print, right? Because I want you to print, else it makes no sense, right? It's a waste of time for me, basically. All right. So this is the mentorship part. Next question. Okay, what helps you with trading psychology? Guys, trading psychology is maybe the most important factor when it comes to trading. And what I can say is bring yourself into very uncomfortable situations outside of trading. For example, having a really hard morning routine, going to the gym, doing stuff that is outside your comfort zone, having a journal, try to appreciate more, right? So that you can fight against fear more, stuff like that. Right? Trading psychology is a huge topic. We can talk about that really literally hours and hours. There's a huge science behind that also, and we dig even deeper into neuroscience. Maybe you guys don't know it, but my girlfriend is studying neuroscience. So very interesting. So she's definitely a key factor that helped me a lot. Okay. All right. When trading, right, what kind of trading platform do I use? I use ABKR. Okay. She said it was what account size would you work for entering? Please look at Amazon. Okay. Okay, interesting. Quickly, no, trading is my full-time job actually. Actually my full-time job is real estate, but I turned into trading because right now cash flow is coming only in from real estate, right? So I don't need to do any real estate projects right now, but I have a really big real estate project coming up. So maybe new year in January, when COVID-19 is over, I need to fly away. So I will be maybe 2 weeks not available in TCX, but let's see. Okay, let's go over Amazon right now. Right, Amazon, guys. Let's make a full analysis on Amazon. What do you guys see on Amazon? Delete all of this. You guys see the resistance here? This is what I want everyone to see right now. Huge resistance, right? And we're forming somehow an ascending triangle. And I don't think the ascending triangle is over yet. So it's not finished yet. Still a lot of room to grow, right? But question Amazon again, right? We have a red day actually on Amazon. Even though it touches, right, our resistance, previous resistance, again, get respected, right, on the daily. So what is happening? Let's go to the 1 hour. What has happened? Pre-market buying in, right? Then we started to reject it. I think Amazon is still bullish. And the reason for that is next week, is that Black Friday? Right? When is Black Friday in the US? Next week, right? And I need to buy a lot of stuff also. Let's see. Right, so Black Friday, Amazon can be bullish, but I heard that Amazon workers are starting to strike, so it could be bearish news, right? A lot of volume, definitely, so keep an eye on that. But I don't think, even though the probability is high, right? Amazon's still in a bullish trend. You see that? That's an uptrend. It could consolidate here and then push the upside. But the thing is, I don't think that will happen. But the likelihood that it happens is high. It's not low at all, right? So once we break this uptrend, this is where you want to be interested in seeing a pullback or a downtrend, right? Okay. Hey, how crazy, by the way, in the US, because I saw so many YouTube videos about that, how crazy is it in the US on Black Friday? I was literally watching videos like where people are standing 5 a.m. in the early morning in front of the doors and then they're rushing in, like fighting each other, jumping on the products. I get one, I want to get one. Is that happening? Is that really? Nice. I love it, to be honest. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, they're camping overnight. Holy. Okay. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I think cloud computing is a huge industry that we didn't satisfy yet. So the growth will continue, definitely. Cloud computing, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, these key players, right? Cloud is about to come, and I believe with the metaverse, cloud computing will get even bigger, right? Do I do leap calls? Yes, I do. That's on Kevin. Kevin's Airbnb. Let's see, I didn't know that. He was calling it out. But Airbnb, let's see, full analysis. Here was previous resistance, right? So this is a very strong resistance. What do we have here? We have an uptrend, so still valid, right? We gapped up. We formed somehow a double top, a huge resistance here in this area. So this is the area that you want to watch. And I don't know when you guys got in, right, into Airbnb, but right now, what I can see is, let me check the 1 hour. huge sell-off. Some people bought in, but COVID, right? Airbnb, bring it into context. Short-term downtrend, right? See the direction. We could argue that this is a short-term somehow uptrending move, right? But we broke down. So definitely we are not bullish right now. Okay, here we go. Guys, it's exactly 11 p.m. right now, my time, and I need to sleep right now. I apologize, but I have to wake up at 5 a.m., right? Like every single day. And that's why I need to end the Zoom session right now. Thank you for everyone participating today. I hope that it helped really clarifying Boeing, some little tricks. We talked about trading psychology a little. And I hope that this Zoom session, like all the other ones, gave you some value again to make you a better trader. Because at the end of the day, we are a community, right? We are a family. We want to print together. And that's what we're doing here in TCX. All right. Cool. So just give me a quick feedback in Discord, in the main chat, how it helped you, if it has helped you. And I will definitely read every single comment through. And with that being said, we see each other tomorrow. Okay. Bye, guys.